Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 13 in my second Let's Play series for Anno 1800. In the last episode, we continued building up our islands in Enbesa and started building the framework for the Research Institute in Swords. The negotiations between Katima and Archibald have now broken down, and in this episode, we're going to be looking to learn more about Enbesa's history and redevelop our island of Taborime. Now, something I want to do and experience a bit more in this DLC that I haven't really taken the time to do just yet is kind of really experience and absorb the full flavor of the writing that's gone into the Land of Lions DLC. For instance, clicking different parts of the palace actually reveals like a little paragraph and a bit of history about different things.
You're a jellyfish.
You're a jellyfish. Anyways, I'll try not to spend like too much time in one go, because I understand that obviously a few people watching this, or a lot of people maybe, have already experienced some of the DLC, but some people haven't, and I think the writing's actually really good, especially for this type of game, especially, you know, it's actually really nice to have some flavor and some backstory for the different places that you're in, and Land of Lions DLC definitely has the most writing, I think, of any of the DLCs. And it's funny that I say all this, because I actually have never played the campaign. I really do need to get around to that at some point. I just always just jumped into the sandbox for whatever reason. Anyways, where we left off in terms of our current situation is our elders at the moment are currently up to 17 because they have illuminated manuscripts. So we had just finished the production chains in the last episode for ceramics and for seafood stew. So that meant going to 2 different islands, getting lobsters, getting indigo, getting spices, and that allowed us to get seafood stew. Now we already have illuminated manuscript, but it's a bit of a false flag. We aren't actually producing it ourselves. There is a festival going on right now, the Festival of Hitia, just for another 13 minutes, providing us with some of those needs already. It's actually not providing us with leads for the illuminated manuscripts, but I think previous festivals may have given that to us as well. So it just means we have some left over in reserve. So I thought that would be a good place to start off, is kind of sorting out what we need to get illuminated manuscripts. So essentially for elders, we have the illuminated script chain. It requires indigo and paper, and then it's made in Illuminer. So that's going to be 100 elders and then 85. So 195 elders, or sorry, 185 elders in total. Quite a lot. We have 125 at the moment. Are we getting a bonus or anything? No, I don't think so. So we'll have to get even more people upgraded. And then as well as that, the other thing I want to do, well, first of all, we might have a look at what the situation is with indigo, right? We have indigo on this island here, 4 to 4. So everything's being consumed right now in whatever building. So we're going to have to go over to Strathancor and build 2 more of these indigo farms. Here's our indigo plantation. Well, is it plantation? I don't know. What's it called? Cultivation.
There's tea by the door if you want.
Just indigo farm. All right. Well, anyway, we just want to build another couple of those. Now, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. It might look a bit weird, but obviously the perfect place to place them right now would just be somewhere like here, and we can make use of all this space. And we really only need just 1, but maybe having 2 would be nice. And to support that, we probably could do with a couple of extra houses. My game is running really well. It feels really good. Like amazingly well. It's like suddenly it's just the frame rate's just really good now. Do you see this? I'm not going to move the camera, tilt it up or down, because it might get a bit worse. What's it like when I look over the actual town? Yeah, still pretty good. Not amazing, but still pretty good. Anyways. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. I know it's a bit of a hot fix, but don't worry. In this episode, I've got plans for a big redevelopment of Taborime itself. We're going to build that monastery. I'm going to get these guys up to 1,000 so we can actually build the monastery as I've envisioned. So hopefully we can do that this episode. So yeah, I think I'll just slam it in there. I do like this little area we have here. Is there any way I could maybe add to it on the opposite side? Not really. Not really. Yeah, I'll have to just decide how the canals are going to go in future, to be honest. It's going to change things, but if I just build in this area, it won't change, but we can move them. So I think that's what I'll do. So lavender, I keep calling it lavender. Indigo, we can just pop it here for now, and then in future just move it if we feel like we want to put more spice down. And I feel like that will happen. So I'm not going to time-lapse this. I'll just try to do it as quick as possible. Just make use of every little bit. Follow the wall all the way up, and then come down that way. And that's 144, just like that. And the next one, Boom. Because the other thing then, I just realized, is tractors, right? We want to bring in some tractors and really get the most out of these places. We can get... I don't even know if you need that much, thinking about it. Because obviously this has been designed for people who may not have Bright Harvest. So actually, yeah, I don't think you necessarily would ever really need to do all that, unless you really want to squeeze a lot out of them. Alright, good. So those 2 extra indigo, we've already got the shipping lanes set up to be delivering it. Hopefully you can make that journey fast enough. It's only from here to over there. Would be faster if we had the docks over here, but I've purposefully moved it kind of over here to the center of the town. Although maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. It's kind of nice having it next to the village, but it's not necessarily... It is kind of a very workman's dock area rather than any kind of port where people would come and go from. But it's kind of nice having it in the town. These things could maybe move though. We have Archibald's cartographic sketchbook. Get rid of that. Just want to pick up some... Sorry, I just remembered actually it's here. He sells mud bricks, Katima. We just want to buy them. And by the way, now that we have elders and they've leveled up a little bit, we can sell gramophones here now for 44,000. So earlier on, lots of people are always telling me, like, oh, set up a route to to Katima and make loads of money with gramophones. And I was telling you, I couldn't do it. It wasn't there before. It only appears there when you actually like reach a certain tier of residents.
Waiting course. We have much to share.
And reach a certain amount of them. But anyway, we've got so much money, I don't need to do it, so it's fine. So anyway, I just want to buy a bunch of bricks. And then I guess we should set up a paper mill. So that's on a deposit. River slot needed 85. So we can get started with that 85 elders, that is. And we have stuff here for them to go to as well. Let's have a look at it.
No idling around. You'll need to get your hands dirty.
Oh, yeah. They take regular wood and turn it into paper. Interesting. Okay, well, that's fine. We can just go to one of our routes here, the Enbesa imports, and instead of the clay, let's just see where the ship is. It's currently fielding like a load of glasses, so as it gets to Taborime, it's going to drop all that off, and then it'll go to Crown Falls and pick up clay. We're going to grab wood, just regular wood here. I don't know if I should split it 50-50 or not. Gonna say yes, just for now. Well, I say for now. I'll just judge it later and see if anything goes wrong, and then we'll fix it. So that's not gonna arrive for a while, but luckily we have a little bit of wood already. Maybe I could just rush off somewhere and go get some and then come back. Would that be a good idea? Just to stimulate the economy. Okay, so that won't be illuminated manuscripts. We need a few more houses, so I'm just gonna keep going with the upgrades before we do our redesign. My redesign that I have planned is probably going to move all the elders away from here, and this will just become more shepherds later on.
Finally, it's over. What do we get?
So, I had run an expedition in between episodes that I forgot to mention. It's a large science exhibition. High-end equipment or machines. I'm kind of hoping we get stuff that we can bring back to Enbesa, but who knows. Let's just go with machines, see what we get. So, we got a steam-powered brewing machine. Affects all drinks production. Productivity 40%. And chance of fire increased as well. And we have a grandiloquent copper distiller. All drinks production 50%. Wow, so you can combine those two together if you want to get 90%. Reduce your maintenance, increase your fire chance. And then, excuse me, a maimer of mustelids. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Mustelids. Affects hunting cabins. 40% increase. Workforce reduced 50%. That's actually a pretty good reduction of workforce. Let's run another one of those. Get some more of those items and contraptions. What do we need? Plantains, goolie lash, cotton, and rum. Okay. Gonna have to remember to do this. Let's go to the New World. I think I might have an airship in the New World. Maybe. We do not, but we have this ship. So I'm just going to grab it here. The cotton. Bring that back. It's a pretty fast ship. And we'll just start moving now. It'll be going with the wind as well once it turns around as well, which is nice. Some people have asked in the comments as well for me to take high... I can't really do high resolution. I just have a 1080p screen. But like high quality you know, no UI screenshots of the best parts of our best cities, best districts. I really like this island. The other one as well, I think that's what I would consider almost complete, would be here, for instance. That area is really good. And then down by the Docklands, the new Docklands is also really nice. You could frame that in a nice way and take a nice picture, I think. So I might do that. I don't know where I'd host it, but I might list it in the comments when I do it. If people would like to see that, let me know. The new Taborime area, which will be done by this end of this episode, should also be a good place to take a picture, because it's really ham-fisted at the moment. But I've got grand plans. I keep saying it, but we're actually going to get through them today. Or start chipping away at them, I should say.
The new bishop is from the Kidusi Anitoni
So
Monastery.
let's just get ourselves to 1,000, yeah? So we're at 740 right now. That's 12? Is it only 12 houses? It might only be 12. Seems a little low, but let's go. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then to get us over the edge, we can get a little bit more. And also, we're going to need regular houses.
You got yourself an agreement.
Just to fill up the bottom of our economy again. I'm just trying to think where to put them. I need to put them somewhere over here because I'm going to be using all this area.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
It's fine. Needs a little bit more than that, doesn't it? This airship has reached Cape Trelawney, and we're going to go up and grab wood, I think, regular wood, right?
Ceasefire has ended.
Reporting in.
And then the last thing to do... Oh, the Research Institute has finished its next level. So there we go. We just did the foundations, and now we're building the... well, let's see what it's called. Well, that was foundations. The next one should be the framework, right, I think? Finish the phase. Yeah, we're already at the framework. God damn. So this is going to take 120 reinforced concrete, 150 steel beams, 120 windows, and my god, it's going to take 1,000 engineers. I actually cannot do that. I've worked it out so that I have no engineers available at the moment with all of the ones we have right now. They're all out partying. I can't get them to work. But no, they are all working out here. A lot of them are working in that extra gold that I put down not too long ago. The gramophone factory. Some of these could be turned off for a while if we wanted to skeeve our way through it. The extra champagne obviously set us back. Oh no, that's artisans. Oh, interesting. Light bulbs could be turned off maybe for a bit. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that. I won't be doing that this episode, unfortunately. Anyway, I don't even know where I'm going to put this until we get to 10,000 investors. If I just check something really quickly, what could we afford to stop producing? Gramophones for sure. Even pocket watches, light bulbs. Yeah, a lot of these buildings could be turned off and we could just manage it that way. We might as well start moving things over. So it's going to require what? Reinforced concrete and steel and windows. So just lots of construction material. We'll just sail down with this ship. Oh, we already have the... There we go. So reinforced concrete. Let's make that delivery twice and then we should have everything. The other thing that we need to grab from down there is goulash. So I could just send a ship down again.
Carry her about.
Nice. Alright, leave all that. So before I get to the time-lapse, let's do a little bit of the quest reading stuff that I was talking about in the previous episode. So... to build, well, that's the Research Institute. So 3 hearts is 1. Select their lighthouses to get additional information on the 3 islands. So here we have Wahadesha. Let's check it out.
Wahadesha. Once a land of bountiful wonders, torn apart by countless wars.
Okay.
I once desired for Wahadesha to blossom anew, but that fruitless endeavor drains resources I can no longer afford.
Okay. The next one, something really important about these quests, by the way, and I honestly don't remember, like, the way to do it. I have done it correctly, though, before. Essentially, you can do it, quote-unquote, wrong, suboptimally, and it's locked forever. And I can't quite remember, like, the specific kind of course of things, so I'm just gonna go by the seat of my pants, and hopefully I get it right. It's fairly straightforward, I think, to be able to get it right. But there are a few challenges in terms of you have to provide some goods, and if you don't do it in like 20 minutes, you fail. So you can end up doing it wrong. So want to be careful with that. I've done it twice before. Once when I was reviewing the DLC, and I got it like 70% of the correct, you know, or whatever. And then I played this once before on stream, also when there was like a Twitch drop event, and I did it then. And I got it correct. So I have done it before, but it was, I don't know, it was when it came out, so however long ago that was. It's been a while, and my memory's not the best. So I genuinely don't remember. If I knew how it was going to go, I'd say. But I don't.
Dealing with you could be a lottery.
So anyways, so here we have the Pirates of Angareb, right? They live out on this little island here. So let's check them out.
The pirates of Angareb deem themselves princes, inhabiting the hallowed palace of the Elamais. But the luster of its glories dulled long ago. They refuse to bow to me, or any not of the blood of Selamawi. Many times have I tried, but I cannot bring them to reason.
Alright, cool. Next one is Caduce and Tony. I'd say my favorite, by the way, out of all of them is either Wahadesha or the Pirates of Angareb. They're awesome. Not a huge fan of this island. No offense to it. Alright, let's check Caduce and Tony.
There are writings housed in the library of Caduce and Tony that were old even before your old world took to the seas. Ever have the princes of Angareb balked at new horizons? We must parley, lest they turn their guns to your ships. Wahadesha expects a delivery. Take it to them, and in so doing, learn of their troubles. A time will come when we confront those who oppose Enbesa. But first, we must tend to those who petition us daily for succor.
So, we now have quests for each island, except for the pirates, actually, I guess. We might have that later, I think. So, Wahadesha, where the Djat no longer roost, and Angareb... Oh, right, sorry, we do have the Angareb. We don't have the Caduce one. We'll probably have that now in a sec. So, official hospitality, the Vistas. Let's just check it out real quick. Emperor Katima asks you to exhibit the beauty of the lands of the people in Enbesa through a photographic series centered upon the 3 most iconic island communities of the region. Take a photo of the Caduce Anatoni trading post. Let's try that. Am I looking at the wrong thing? The trading post, it says. I can't quite get it. There we go. It's not the best photo, but I couldn't get it right. And then Angareb's lighthouse.
Men are wise but wary of novelty. Take care not to startle them with your camera.
Alright, Caduce Anatoni, the Angareb lighthouse.
Angareb. There is beauty and even some wisdom hidden here, behind those high and headstrong walls.
I love this place. I think it looks so cool. It's like Pirate Haven. It's way bigger than any of the other pirates in the game, and it's kind of like a cross between like the Pirate Coves and then also like Eli Bleakworth's thing. It's like a military fortress, you know. Looks really cool. Next one is Wahadesha, the trading post.
I was born here, in less happy times. It was rough sailing, but my mother and I took care of each other.
He need not know our differences with these lands remain. Unity soon shall mend us.
Alright.
Natural beauty, certainly. But Her Majesty did not send me here to sightsee. She has great hopes that Enbesa might fall in and become a powerful industrial cog.
Okay, so he wants us. So I guess as a show of our prowess, Archibald wants to take a photograph of some steelworks somewhere. So let's go to Lusk. Beautiful. I mean, I think it looks efficient.
You call this progress, as though it were one of only two paths to be chosen.
Okay, cool. Let's hop back.
To attract such approval from the Arena is no small feat. On such pillars will you build my capital.
My capital. I love how he says that.
I meant approval for Her Majesty's empire, not Katima's. Confound it! Why was I not informed of this?
Should have praised it from your cold dead hand.
Okay, thanks.
I would greet our guest with a worthy gift, a comprehensive chronicle of our great land, the Epic of Lions. Come find me to discuss compiling it.
Okay.
Sir Blake is but one man, without allies and support here. He needs to see this for negotiations to resume peacefully and in good intent.
So, either sustain...
Further expansion? This will not do at all. Stem the tide. Her Majesty greatly appreciates and rewards loyalty.
Oh, I just realized there's a gap actually between ruins in my cities. Oh yeah.
Crops are spinning.
That's totally fine. Huh. Okay, so we have two options. This is why this DLC is actually quite interesting, because you can kind of lean in either way. You can be like, yep, I'm for the crown, and I'm for subjugation, I guess. Or I'm against that, and I want to preserve the history and the culture of Taborime and keep its independence. So Taborime Dream's growth is to sustain 800... Do we have 1,000? Oh yeah, we do. We have 1,000 already. Nice. Sustain 800 elders for 13 minutes. Or sustain an Enbesa residence happiness below 5. So that would be insane. You'd have to like overwork everyone and not give them anything they want. I guess you wouldn't have to overwork them. You could just turn things off. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Taborime Dreams. I'm gonna lean into Emperor Katima. I believe he can give us a better reward. I actually don't know what happens maybe if you lean in fully on Archibald, but it's not my style. I'm for the independence, let's say, of Taborime. I don't want to be the bad guy, basically. Not today. Anyways, so that's 12 minutes. Unfortunately, yeah, I'd like to do the time-lapse, but if I start moving things around, that might not be able to be sustained. So until that's done, I can't do the time-lapse. So we'll wait till that's done, and then we'll just time-lapse the S out of this place. Or the F. Whatever your preference in letter. We have lanterns we can now get, and we have the ability to build the monastery. Should we just slam one down? Have a look at it. Provides a public service for your island. There we go. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to put it down, not going to zoom in. I'll wait until the end of the time-lapse and reveal it that way. How about that? I think that'd be nicer. What else do we have? Satima? Sail to Katima's Island. Chronicles of a Storied Land. Alright, let's do that. We're basically here. Fake the engine. Hopefully we can sustain the elders. It'd be a massive F-up of mine.
A fine scholar has recently returned from Vespuccia, where he was researching archaeology. Find him in Kidusi Anitoni. He will be of great help.
Hold the crane.
Alright, let's go to Kidusi Anitoni. It's just this island over here. To the Pride of Arverd. Katima wishes you bring Kidusi Anitoni into the fold of Enbesa. He advises you to seek the advice of a scholar residing in Kidusi. So there's also quite an interesting thing. Essentially, Emperor Katima, it's like the Queen and Archibald want to subjugate Katima, and Katima wants to subjugate the islands. And it's all about like, well, what do we do, you know? I'm not too sure if we can preserve their independence and also do good for Katima. I'm not too sure. We'll have to come across it as we see fit. So just before we move up there, I just wanted to check on the consumption rates of things and make sure we're not just going to suffer a massive loss. I mean, we can already remove 200 elders, so there'd be 2 per household here that we're going to run out of scripts eventually, right? Because we don't have a... Actually, we have so many extra things now. We should definitely build the manuscript building. That would keep us going. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's do that now. Because we should have...
Just give me a minute to
yes,
put my
excess indigo, and we're starting to make paper already. Speaking of paper, I forgot about this thing here. To be honest, the other thing's probably already made it here with everything we need. Oh yeah, we need a goulash. You know what? Forget the wood. Let's just take the goulash to swords. There's so much going on all the time. Alright, then in the New Worlds, our pirate ship should have been on its way back. What the hell was that? A photo? Oh, it's the notifications.
From its void.
I thought it was a load of quests asking me to take like many photos. So the ship has just arrived here. Let's drop in the cotton fabric. That's that, and then we'll get that goulash in when the ship arrives.
Slowly but slowly.
How much time do we have left?
Along.
12:44. Okay, that's fine. Should be able to do it. So it's all about the airship coming from here into Old World. At least it's a short journey, generally speaking. We did fill it up completely. Let's just drop half of that. Speed that ship up.
Props are spinning.
Oh man, that's so cool. Quick. Let's see if we can see it from... Oh no. We might be too late. I'm running as fast as I can. I need that fast running buff from the guy. I'm guessing I've missed it. I'm trying to get into the fortress. There it is. I don't know, were we up here in a video before? I can't remember. But yeah, basically, this is where we can actually stand up on the fortress and see our beautiful Crown Falls. Look at the moonrise that we've got going on. And of course, in a way previous episode, we were up on those mountains before. Alright, nice. That was fun. Alright, we're still sustaining it for 8 minutes 33 left to go. The population. And we have 14 sheets of paper.
If only Tariko had
We're out of wood.
my last batch.
A competitor's island is under siege.
But the wood should be on the way now. Yes. It's just still in Cape Trelawney, so it's about to leave. And once it goes between continents, it should get there fairly quickly. The wood and the clay. Alright, nice. So we have 8 minutes to kill. Let's go back to Caduceus Anitoni.
Cargo boat at the ready.
That looks so
you're
good.
the one tasked with weaving our great epic together? A foreigner? Well, any ship in a storm. Well-intentioned, I'm sure, but I spent years studying this exceedingly complicated subject at Arvert College. It is hardly an easy task. The college was nice. It is Arvert, but the people of Vespuccia were indisposed by my chroma, if you know what I mean. So I left, and more's the loss for them. All good research papers start in a library, preferably a palatial library. The priests will grant you access, perhaps. I hope.
Alrighty, so select the library to examine the books about history. You wonder what the priests of Caduceus are hiding.
The library is restricted to servants of the Lord. The texts here are holy scripture, guarded from unsanctioned influence. But as you are working on the chronicles, You may enter if you answer this riddle. On quiet meres I lay, never sinking. Yet dipped in water, I am fit for drinking.
I'm so bad at riddles, it's ridiculous. On quiet meres I lay. I've already forgotten it. Never sinking. Yet dipped in water, I'm fit for drinking. Yeah, I'm awful at this. I remember there was one earlier and there's something to do with, like, it's so obvious it was like bananas and I just couldn't get it. Answer the enigma by clicking on the requested element located somewhere on Caduceus Anatoni. Dipped in water, I'm fit for drinking. Like the... I have nothing. I have nothing in my mind right now about what that is. Dipped in water, I'm fit for drinking. On quiet meres, I lay, never sinking.
Many have tested our strength before. We still stand.
F from the artist. The tattoo is only granted once a priest has proven mastery of the Ogdode. Until then, they must show deference to the elect by putting their hand on their heart. Oh. I spend most of my days drawing, tattooing the sacred hibiscus onto priests' wrists. An ancient tradition and a great privilege. Oh, could it be something like hibiscus? Doesn't that have to be like... I don't know if it has to be put in water. Tech at the Blind seems to be in the process of writing a book about the many animals of Enbesa with naively drawn sketches of the animals themselves. Well, yeah, I'm not seeing any farms or anything around here. Like, what I'm thinking... Oh, like, yeah, hibiscus tea, right? Dipped in water and fit for drinking? Like tea? Right? Now I can't think of anything else. Oh, there's hibiscus here.
A competitor's island is under siege.
Vibrant and odorless despite the fragrance of hibiscus in the wind. Do we do it? Do we get it right?
The hibiscus flower is the image of what we seek.
Yes.
Here in Caduceus Anatoni, knowledge nourishes us, that we may bloom in the eyes of the Lord. One must learn to see with the inner eye, the eye of the soul. Tell me, which of the buildings on our island is largest?
Right, before we answer that, just gotta get back here and drop off the goulash. How close are we? Almost there.
Dirigibbling.
Begin the turn.
Oh my god, just select the airship. There we go. Alright. They should be able to deliver that by the time it runs out. 6 minutes to deliver the goulash? Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Okay, cool. Back to Enbesa. So, select... What was it? Select what the biggest building is. Select the largest structure. Now, there's a bit of a trick question. I think it's this thing. A cluster of extremely ancient stones. Oh, maybe not. This thing?
Long ago, our library was a beacon of learnedness in a world of darkness. But the treacherous kings of Kashta burnt it all.
We're still maintaining... We still have 1,003 for 3 minutes to go.
Island. But to those who know, the high walls and pale altars live on all around us. Your understanding is starting to blossom. The time for admittance is at hand.
Okay, because we understand hibiscus and the ruins, we're allowed to go in, I guess. So, return to the High Priestess. She's reluctant to let us enter. You favorably impressed her, but it seems there is more in her mind before she relents. Make a decision. You passed the first test, stranger, and discovered our symbol, the hibiscus scentless at first, yet delicious when submerged. Tell me, what did you make of it? One should seek knowledge to bloom. Hibiscus tea is the path to redemption.
They're streaming in.
Nah, one should seek knowledge to bloom. How about that? Quite accurate, but at the root of this metaphor is our awareness of the many senses we as humans are gifted with. Hearing and observing the world leads us to wisdom. Observing, smelling, and tasting the hibiscus taught us that very lesson. Okay. You passed the test of sight and discovered the hidden roots of the Caduceus Anatoni, the ruins of the old library. Now tell me, what do you make of it? Ancient history of writing in
competitor's
Caduceus,
island
Tony. Many
withstood
tomes of
an
learning were
attack.
lost. Well, one of these is like faded out almost. I'd say, yeah, many tomes of learning were lost, it seems. Lost? No. The soil of Caduceus itself holds that memory, such as our purpose to store and nurture knowledge despite the assault of time in our library. Ours is a millennial faith, an unchallenged tradition of the centuries. It takes devotion as students and scholars of that faith to understand the simplest tenets of the wisdom stored here, keeping our minds and bodies free of the corruption of novelty to better hear the wisdom of the winds. Ours is a spiritual labor of heart and mind. Menial, manual labor distracts from our holy mission, something that Irenia of Katima have forgotten. Yet they sow and craft, but in the process they forget their duty to the people's soul. We will not share in such decrepitude.
A tiny something to keep you going.
Thank you, Benty. Anyone else want to give me something?
Don't think you'll be getting any more.
Okay. I think I will be.
Not too many changes, I hope.
I'll get to that in a sec. Your Lord would have us blend into his people, his united faith. This is a betrayal of all that we stand for until he decides to build his empire around true ancestral faith of Enbesa and encourages the Irenia to refocus on their spiritual duties. There can be no harmony between us. The Irenia skills are essential for the empire to thrive, or I hope to make him see the truth in your words. So I guess that's like their people, right? The Irenia, and these guys and girls.
My heart sings to hear so many voices.
There we go.
To
Finish
see
the other
so
quest.
many colors. This is the Enbesa I dream of. United, yet strong in its diversity.
Well, if he wants it to be strong in its diversity, then we'd say the Irenia skills are essential.
Loyalty to the crown really should come above all else.
Dark clouds gather near our borders. While I weary of warfare, the safety of my people comes foremost.
See how he gathers for war. Hospitality of Enbesa, I'll say. Bring me the cannons, and I'll reward you handsomely.
God damn. Oh, I have to decide who gets the cannons. We have weapons here, actually I think, already. Anyway, so I'm going to go with this option. I believe that you're like the hibiscus. Before bathing in the waters of knowledge, there's always hope.
Loyalty to Lord Ketema does you credit, but we will not join him. He is too narrow in his faith.
No.
And I will not see Kidusi's legacy forgotten.
They don't want to join Katima.
You show yourself to be worthy of trust. Lift now the veil and enter our famed library.
Resourceful, aren't you? Very well, let's get to it. All great nations spring from a golden age, a time of splendor and legend. The books are over there.
Alright, we'll check them out soon. I do remember there's quite a bit of reading when it comes to
There are
that.
volumes here on every aspect of theology, history, science, or poetics. If you read, please turn the pages by their corners.
But I think that's
A
enough
competitor's
narrative for
island
now.
Withstood an attack.
Look at the amount of quests we've got now. So, disarming smiles. Let's have a just quick read here.
Right, yes. What ho? Just in time for a spot of water polo.
Sir Archibald is aware of Emperor Katima's plan to further fortify Taborime with cannons, and hopes that you'll instead accidentally fulfill his own requests for the identical materials required for their assembly. Emperor Katima has decided that tensions have escalated enough between Enbesa and the Crown to warrant the construction of additional fortifications. Sir Archibald may have little to no firepower for a war at present, but the Royal Fleet could in theory be called upon to make the long voyage from the Old World. So yeah, we basically need to get 20 wands of timber, mud bricks, weapons. I think we'll leave it. We have other things to do in this episode. We can always come back to that next time. I'll be reading the comments after this episode. I look forward to seeing what people think of the story and if they want me to keep pursuing. I mean, I want to keep pursuing it. I like it. But I'll just be interested to know if people actually have an interest in that. Because I know it's quite weird for Anno to have any kind of, at least for me anyway, for it to have a narrative. I think it's a strange thing. I can't believe they actually managed to do it every time as well and get like a budget for it. Even that little Docklands had like a little, you know, story with the deep blue. Alright, so now that we've hit 1,000 elders and we've actually sustained them, rather comfortably for 15 minutes, I'm going to begin our redevelopment. So we're going to time-lapse this, and we're going to do what I was talking about with the canals. I guess I'll talk through it during the time-lapse, so let's begin. Alrighty, so now that we've hit 1,000 elders and we've given them everything they need, we have every building available to us. So there's no excuses for anything like, oh, this is temporary, or I'll get back to this later. This is designed to be a final build for this area, and spoiler alert, I'm super happy with how it turned out. I can't wait to see what people think, and if they have any ideas on how we could maybe even make it even better, always willing to hear some feedback. Now, if you're wondering why I stop and I pull back and I just look straight down, or I look to the right, or I design out these meticulous little weird roads that you'd be like, why would you do that? How'd you know to do that first? It's basically because in Photoshop, I've basically got this sort of grid. I know how big houses and certain other buildings are, and I kind of designed it out there first just to save a little bit of time. And then basically I'm working off of that document. It's not perfect, I don't have a complete layout of the terrain or anything like that, but that's kind of why you'll see me kind of pulling out and, you know, obviously checking to see where my buildings are relative to each other. So one of the unfortunate things with this build is I decided that I'm not going to put down extra elder houses. I wanted everything to kind of go out on this left side, so I end up just really pulling all the houses from the right side, undoing a lot of the work we did with the previous time-lapse. I do a little bit of extra work in there, but there's, as you'll see at the end, going to be a big gap that we'll need to fill in future. And I'm hoping, like I said, not to have to do this over, but it might expand. I'm not going to really change anything here, I don't think. The only reason I ever would is if maybe I ran out of canals, or I really needed to squeeze in more houses for some reason, but I don't see that happening. Anyway, so you can see that we've put the police station down. There's a nice fence wrapping around it to kind of cordon it off from everyday hustle and bustle of life and just give it a bit more security. And then we've got the town hall opposite that with surrounding kind of flower beds and things like that. So that's kind of two government buildings next to each other. I've obviously fed in the canal here and then doubled up the canal space, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the video why I did that. Double up the canal space just to make it look really, really nice, and put the monastery right in the center, and then kind of cordon off the monastery then even further with more trees and flower beds and things like that as well. Then we got the market, musicians court, and then just like I always try to do, you know, break up the roads a little bit, break up the houses a bit, try to avoid grids. So a great way to avoid grids is doing something like I have just at the bottom right there, where it's like instead of just 6 houses in a line, it's like 7 houses, you know, 3 at the bottom, 4 at the top or whatever. And that can just break things up and make it look a lot more natural. The hospital there across from the monastery, it's a really, really nice looking building. I actually talk about that again a little bit later in this video. Just love the design of the way the wall kind of makes it look like it's not a square building essentially. And then we've got the market in the center with loads of different the way camps and the different ornaments to address that as well. And then row of trees separating the kind of workers' docks away from the town itself. I'm just dressed and set with lovely ornaments. There is actually a lot, I guess, but I'd always love more, you know, but it can look pretty good. So there we go, we have the fire stations feeding in those canals. That's the only thing I would worry about, you know, doubling up a canal, obviously using a lot of canal modules just for aesthetic purposes, not, you know, any other reason. So we'll see how that all shakes out when we have to put more demand on the place. We have enough islands that I don't think it's really going to be a problem. And I guess from time to time, you know, I might just go quiet and let you guys see what I'm doing, because not everything needs an explanation. You can kind of obviously work out what I'm doing and why. At the moment, just moving, trying to move all those elders from the right side as much as possible to the left side. Another goal of this build was to make sure that every single house, be it elder or shepherd, had full coverage of everything they needed. One of the mistakes, I guess, it's not quite a mistake, I knew what I was doing when it was happening, but I didn't put down town halls like, you know, optimally everywhere. I just have a town hall where I thought it made most sense across from the police station, but it's obviously covering a lot of nothing because the monastery is just in the center, for instance. So I'm sure you could be more optimal there if you wanted to be, but I'm still really happy with how it's come together. I'm just checking the consumption rates here for, you know, I wanted to make sure I didn't kill the economy either, so I made sure I didn't destroy buildings. I was just moving things and made sure I kept all the production buildings going. We're running low on dried meat, so I essentially just put down another saltworks and then another sanga farm, and I've just kind of been finagling it and moving it along here in our sort of irrigated production area in a way. I actually really like the look of that, where the I don't know if it's linseed meets the sanga farm there. One of the modules is cut off by 2 roads. I think it looks really good. It's kind of just a mini farm. So with the removal of the production buildings from near that fire station there, I was able to then start pushing in buildings further. And this is where I was saying I was opening up the statistics screen and checking, like, okay, do all these shepherds now still have access to a market, access to a musician's court, and does it look good? You know, I'm just going around making sure I'm not leaving anything behind, and that we can grow the town from here in future. That market that's placed right there should have coverage all the way out to the coastlines, so I think we're good for future expansion. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the time-lapse. I thought we'd do something a little bit different and actually just take a little walk around the city. This little part of our Elders District, I guess, right across from the docks at the southern coastline. Actually, I think it's kind of the eastern coastline, thinking about it. Southeastern, maybe. As we progress into the city here, we come up to the market and the musician's court in the distance. People are flogging all sorts of ceramics. They have their campfires. I decided to show it at night because I just think the glow from the lights looks particularly cool, and so does our airship there in the distance. We actually haven't supplied these guys with lanterns yet, but it looks like they're doing alright. Actually, we do have lanterns from the previous festival, but they actually don't consume them just yet. So we're just passing by the musician's court here. A lovely lively dance going on in there. At about 4 a.m. actually, which is the time now. And here we have the monastery. Absolutely beautiful building. We have our canals stretching around it, our flower beds all the way up and around it as well. And it's very peaceful and serene as we move away from the noise of the musician's court. Come to the incense burning, perhaps, and people praying at the monastery. I think it looks awesome. And then, of course, we have our police station here around the side, cordoned off for security reasons. Ah, yes. The sacred and ceremonial frying pan. Then we have our town hall, sort of the administrative center of the town itself. We have the town hall right across from the police station, supposed to two kind of governmental buildings here. As we progress out further that way, we work our way to the commoners section, the shepherds. We could just take a quick jump and have a look over. We'll just come back this way, because if we progress up towards where the canals actually feed in, of course we come across the fire stations, looking after our dear Enbesa city here. Alright.
They're staging it in the open air, apparently.
Damn! Alright, and there's the entrance into the rear entrance of the monastery at the back, and our canal that feeds our city with life, and our fire stations with water, of course. So there we go. Nice little walk. And then, of course, it leads back out to the main stretch of roads that enters our city. We have the production area over there, and the canals that just feed into the other fire station further up. And if we want to have a look at it from a more normal perspective, maybe just during the day. Here we are. Looks good. I'm really happy with it. Obviously, I'm sure I've talked about how this was all made during the time-lapse. Actually, totally forgot to put anything down there. So that's my bad. And these should be trees. There we go. There we go. It's a bit better that way. There. I like that kind of mud paving kind of stone to kind of wrap around it, because that's actually what the building itself has. Yeah, it looks good. I think it looks good anyway. I don't want to speak for myself. I always say that. It sounds a bit weird. But I think it looks good. I like the reflective pool. I initially was going with just a one layer of canal around the thing when I was kind of designing this out myself. And then I caught a screenshot of someone else that I don't know exactly. I can't exactly remember what it was, but it's like a quadruple lane canal leading through some city that they had in Enbesa, and I was like, oh yeah, you can stack them together. So I kind of have this double pool going around it. I think it looks pretty cool. It's a shame about the barrel in the water, though. I wish someone could go fish that out. It'd be kind of nice. Maybe we can. Oh my god! Imagine if you opened it. See, I never know in this game all the little details. They could end up clicking that, and God knows what could happen in first-person mode. But anyway, yeah, so that's the, let's do one final little panoramic. Looks awesome. Oh, and I forgot, of course, the hospital over here, which is also semi-cordoned off by some trees, but has access to the to the street there. The reason that I've done it that way and not kind of cordoned it off completely is just because it already has its own kind of wall. So I thought it made sense to put it at the corner facing inwards this way, and then to have some trees and fencing and stuff around the back to kind of like cordon it off. Of course, a gap in the fence for people who are coming in and out from the rear, perhaps. And same sort of situation with our police station and things like that. So lots of space to build further if we want to extend the population. We are now at 1,003 elders, and shepherds are at 960. So our elders can grow a little bit more once we get lanterns. But the elders themselves are, the shepherds are pretty much fully done, I believe. Yeah, 960. I mean, I could get 4 more of their houses if we wanted to even up the numbers. I'm sure we'll build ahead anyway, or over that limit, because royal taxes don't really faze me, of course. And yeah, let's just have a look. If you wanted to check the population breakdown, we have the shepherds, 960. Every one of them 10 in the household is making sure that they're all rubbing up against their amenities just fine, and the elders should be all the same as well, all at 17. So they're basically just waiting on those lanterns to be able to get the extras in there. Our workforce as well at 263, so we've got some room to build some of those higher tier buildings as well for them. So what we're going to be looking for is the last chain, which is a combination of... So we're going to need glass, and you know how important glass is to us. We have it in the Docklands of Lusk. And then we're going to need a chandler. Basically making ornate candles from beeswax that we get from an apiary, and then mixing that with raw cotton. So kind of a crazy one, really, using 2 weird ingredients from like the old world, sand and cotton, glass. Makes sense though, you know, obviously. I don't know what I guess the cotton is for the wick. Yeah, that's what it must be. And then we've got the beeswax for the wax of the thing, the glass obviously for the lantern. No metal frame though. I'm surprised they didn't throw that one in there to add a bit of steel in there. But I'm sure steel is kind of in demand enough. So I think that's going to be it for this episode. I was going to look at one other thing. I can't quite remember. Oh, yeah. I was just going to have a look at that apiary. So what does it need? So yeah, the interesting thing with the... Oh, sorry, wrong thing. There we go. And there. Okay. I was getting fooled many times over. I was about to say that you actually needed elders just to even get the apiary up and running, but that wouldn't have made any sense. Requires irrigated soil. So is this an actual farm module building? I thought it was just like a little... Oh my god, 192. How many bees are we keeping? Has to be built on
the competitor's island is under siege.
Did we... Oh yeah, that's indigo. I was wondering why the colors were different, of course. Well, we could just put it here for a second and have a look. Just turn it off for now.
Let me pick up my walking stick and you can close the door.
192. Let's just take a look at it. Nice. Oh yeah, looks awesome. Bees! Bees! Can we not get in there? I guess that's a good thing. I'm pretty sure you can walk around your own fields, can't you? Let's try it again. Huh, doesn't seem to want to let me do it.
Is it my fault if the bees sleep too much?
Bees! Oh my god, that was so loud. I'm so sorry. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the time-lapse. Hope you enjoyed the final look of our Elder City. Hope it was worth the wait. Sorry that I always temporarily build, but this is set in stone now. Obviously, room for expansion out down here first. I'd like to kind of fill all that area first, and then think about filling this area. Or the other way around, whatever. Yeah, actually maybe this area first, I guess. And then fill that one out. And we've got loads of space. I've been just throwing down as many of these kind of ornaments to try and make things look natural as possible. Really happy with how it looks. Pretty sure we've got mud brick roads pretty much everywhere, I think. There might be spots of dirt road every now and then in certain driveways, but everyone looks pretty good to me. Alright, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm always eager to see what you think. I was delighted how pleased people were with the Docklands. And like I said, I might do some screenshots and pictures if people really want. The only thing that I don't like about this area is that it's like, oh, we have loads more room. We want to fill it up. But right now we just don't really need to. And I want to kind of do what we need to do in Enbesa before we throw down extra stuff, you know, for no reason other than just to add it. But of course, if we need the workforce, we'll be right on top of it. Alright, that's it for this episode. Oh, also, let me know what you think about the story and stuff. I could ease up on it if people really wanted me to. and not read so much, but I do like even plan on reading extra things that we can check around there. Alright, that's going to be it for sure. Thank you very much for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video has been copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that will give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.